Hi everyone, this is Brent at Arizona Flower Market. Good to be with you again today. We got a couple of really good ideas I think that you're going to really enjoy. And every now and then we just need to come up with some different ideas for centerpiece ideas or gift ideas. And one of them that I have done in the past, which is always fun to do, is it's a centerpiece that is also going to be used as a dual centerpiece. So we're going to start with a tray, and you don't have to have a tray if you don't want to. This is an accent decor tray and a couple of containers that I already have our floral foam in, and just placing them in the center of our tray like that. And we're going to start with the curly willow. You've seen me use different branches in the past, and I love curly willow. So we're going to insert our first stem into the container on the left, and then the other one's going to go in their container on the right. So it's going to be a very long centerpiece, which this would be great for party table, wedding reception, or just maybe a kitchen island. How many of us always entertain at home and we need something big on our kitchen island that we like to use? And curly willow goes a long way. Good texture, gives it that woodsy look to it. Just important to remember that these are going to be separated into two centerpieces, but we want it to look like one, which is real important to do. All right, moving right along. We have the curly willow stems almost in place, and you can kind of tell it does look like one overall arrangement, but later on as I separate them, it will be two completely individual designs. Always keep your excess stems on the ground. We don't need them in our way. We're going to start with some beautiful green miniature hydrangeas. I love hydrangeas. Used to grow them a lot in the Midwest, not the miniatures, but the regular size we did. And it's always important to take the excess foliage off. We don't need that. I want all that water source to go right to the blooms. Sometimes if these have long enough laterals, you can actually separate these and work them in even closer, which we're going to do with this one. Sharp cut and right down in the foam, like that. And we'll put a little bit more on this side. Now just for a little touch of greenery, you have to have something. We always want to cover our mechanics, so we always use some form of greenery. We're going to use the pittosporum today. And we're going to work that in right to the front and down. All right, so we got our variegated, or excuse me, not variegated, our regular green pit in there. Now we're going to take these beautiful Picasso calla lilies. Calla lily is my favorite flower, and whether it's a mini calla or the regular cut calla, the open cut, the large white one, I still love to use mini callas as often as I can. The important thing about mini calla is you want to get a nice fresh cut, make sure it's nice and deep into the floral foam. Callas actually do not need to be in water if you're doing an event. We used to do a lot of events back in the Chicago area where I would suspend callas from maybe an armature hanging from a ceiling. And calla lilies will actually hold up almost 5 to 7 days without even turning a color. As long as they're hydrated enough when you get the callas in from your supplier, make sure you do hydrate them correctly, have them totally turgid, and then they're good to go. We also used to take like wax, candle wax. You could seal the end of the calla lily with it, and that would also help hold the moisture. But I found out that just letting them hang from an armature from the ceiling, if your event is going 3 to 4 days, it's going to hold up fine without having to worry about them turning brown or turning colors on you. So one of my absolute favorite flowers to use is the calla. This one in, but the Picasso, it's got that beautiful purple center to it. One of my favorites to use, and been real popular with brides as well to use. I've got these gorgeous Tiffany roses. Isn't that beautiful? And I've had these sitting out for almost 48 hours. Because when you get them in the bunch, they were a little bit tight, but I want it to be fully open for the video today. So look at the petal count on that. It's absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful peach color. To me, this ties in a little bit with our curly willow color. So I definitely wanted to bring in peach and purple go really well together. So I thought it'd be as important. But I wanted it as open as possible without having to reflex them. I love to reflex roses, but sometimes if you just get a beautiful rose that opens up on its own, I just as soon do it that way. Beautiful. Now, since I've got the Picasso mini cals in there, I wanted to pick up something that had just a little bit of the lavender color. Not a lot, but just a little bit. So I'm going to use the lavender stock. Stock has such a very sweet smell to it. People do love this. I like to work with flowers in the water. I know many of us like to just lay the flowers on the table as we design. I really think it's very important to keep them in a bucket of water next to you, so they're not just laying on the table. Because you know how it is in the flower shop, we all get busy, the phone rings or a customer comes in, and when you have to walk away, those flowers are just going to lay there. And that's not good. You always have to recut and rehydrate if you do that. Or this way, if you just leave these in a bucket of water, if you get a phone call or a customer, you need to step away from your design, you're able to do so, and your flowers are still in water, and they're all good. Loving how this is looking so far. Hopefully you do too. Another new product, at least it's new to me, it's called Matilda. And I thought it was in the coxcomb family, but it really is not. It's actually in the amaranthus family, which I found really interesting. Amaranthus we've used before, either the hanging amaranthus or the upright, but this is called Matilda. And look at that delicate lavender color. And that is such a cool texture with that. Totally different from the callas and the curly willow. Really outstanding. Doesn't take very much. I'm just going to cut right off the branches here. But really fun to play with. Anytime you get something new on the flower market, get it. Some people say, oh, I would never, use some of those exotic flowers or different types of foliages very often. You're not going to know until you try. Some of your customers might really love this look. And without getting it in and trying it, how are you going to know? So don't ever be afraid of trying new product in. And that's what everybody here at Arizona Flower Market is for, our wholesale division. Give them a call. A lot of times they'll tell you what's new in the market, and they're happy to share with you. All right, so I'm going to turn so you can see this side and I can see the other. This is where we're at so far. A little bit more Matilda on this side. That. Now, if you notice these containers I had, they're also from Accent Decor. They have like a white and a kind of a whitish green color to it. So you need something, I always like to tie the container color into your overall design. So I chose these Porcelana spray roses that have the green guard petals. I'm one that likes to keep the guard petals on, unless they look bad. Now, some of the guard petals do need to go, but these are still very pretty, and it has that greenish color to it. And it's going to tie in with that container and also the Picasso calla lily, which is really important. Everything should tie together in your overall design. It's not going to take very many of them. I'm going to cluster them in just a couple of spots. Even these open up very, very nicely. Some of the spray roses can be kind of on the tight side, but these actually open up beautifully. Get things off the tray. See, I think this is just a really cool party piece right here the way it is. And I would totally have either chocolates, if you're having a party, entertaining with that, chocolates or mints or some kind of an hors d'oeuvre you could sit here on the tray on both sides or even off to the center of it as well. I think that would be absolutely beautiful to tie it in all together like so. Let's put a couple more spray roses. And I see one spot I want just a little bit more of our green pit to finish off this side, just to carry that through. Also thinking I want one more mini calla to go further this direction. Again, once I backed up and looked like, yep, we need to extend that out. And we're going to extend this one as well. like that. That's better. Now we even have longer to kind of balance off our curly willow look. Now something to tie everything together. One of my favorite foliages that we get in, and it's called the Flexia. Almost looks like a springeri, or in the springeri family. Isn't that beautiful? A very nice lacy look to that, but it's very light and airy. So what I'd like to do is just push this in and insert it right here. Have it kind of coming down, wrapping around the calla lily and kind of incorporating the curly willow. Ooh, look at this one, beautiful. Love it, love it. We're going to insert this one here. And it's almost like it's sheltering our flowers, which is also another cool technique that we like to use. We're sheltering where we can still see the arrangement or see the flowers, but we're covering it just a little bit to make it more interesting with some foliage. And we are almost finished with this look. And I'll show you how easy it is to pull these apart and make two separate designs out of them, which is always kind of nice. That way, if this is a party where you are giving the centerpieces away, or you just want to share your centerpieces, you can do so, but you're going to get double duty out of these. And there's our look there. So this way, if you want to say this is a gorgeous centerpiece for your either your dining room table or your kitchen island, and then when it's time for your guests to leave, you just pull these apart, then you have two separate designs for two separate people to take home and enjoy. So I love doing this. It's a great look. But what a fabulous centerpiece you can do. Anybody can do this. Or of course you can always call us here at the Arizona Flower Market and Family Florist, and we'd be happy to create this for you. You don't need the tray if you don't want it. You can just have these sitting on your table as is. I think the tray just adds a little bit of extra touch to it. And you might have a tray at home you can do that with as well, or bring it in and we'll be happy to fill the order here for you. Again, this is Brent at the Arizona Flower Market. I hope you guys are having a great day, and we'll be seeing you real soon. Thank you.